Hi there, I wanted to do a video on how the flame of the Muse gets dimmed, because I've done one about the Muse and what it is, so you can check that out. I'll either leave a link in the description or I'll put up like a card at the top. But yes, so how to stay kind of in the creative flow. Like I said before in the other video, I think there's certain things that can come in. So when you go and you sit down and you're kind of thinking, I'm gonna, maybe write a song. So you pick up your guitar or you sit by your piano or whatever instrument you use. And first of all, I think if you're writing something from scratch, there just has to be this complete openness. So, and there's going to be kind of those judgments that you have in your mind, those kind of like, if you're really in the flow, then you're not really thinking, or you're not really going to be aware of those thoughts, because you're going to be in the flow, and really that's the state that you want to kind of get into, that is going to create some inspiration, some little chord sequence or some little melody line that's maybe a bit more unusual than some other one, or maybe is really ordinary, and that's okay too. So yeah, but if you're obviously, you're not always going to be in that kind of flow state. So when you're not in the flow state and you're just playing around, you can still obviously write things, and you still might write things that that are good, or that you consider good. But that is when you're going to be more aware of your thoughts, I think, when you're doing that. And so I'm aware that there can be those judgments. So like maybe you're, playing this melody line, or you're singing some melody line and you're thinking, oh, this is just a bit too ordinary, or, this isn't good enough, but I think if you put those things aside and you just still allow whatever it is to come, then the next time you sit down, it's a little bit easier to get into that place again, to get into the flow state, or just to, again, allow things to really be. And there also might be times where you're just in the supermarket, or you've gone for a walk, and something starts to bubble up. And I think also in those times, you have to write something down, or write the lyric down, or record the melody line into your phone or something. Because again, the more times you record something and allow something to come up, the more eventually is going to come up. And that's how you keep that flame burning. The more you push it away, the more you judge it, the more your fears come up and say, oh, this is nobody's gonna be interested in listening to this, or whatever it is. The more you listen to that voice, the more it diminishes that flame. And also there's the times when you could be in mid-flow. So sometimes when I go, so recently I've been writing this song, and I thought I'd finished it quite a while ago, because I've been gathering some songs together recently. And I looked at it again and I thought, this just I haven't quite articulated really what I wanted to say in this song. And I can see by what I've written already what it is that I'm trying to say, but it just isn't clear enough. It doesn't, I could read it and I could get very lost and jumbled in the words, rather than really feeling the connection as soon as I read the words. And I don't think one way is better than the other way, because you could have, there are some songs out there that have really obscure lyrics, and and to be honest with you, I like those just as much as ones that have simple lyrics that are easier to understand. But I just felt like I had overblown the lyrics. I had overcomplicated them when really I needed to pull it back. So I started to dismantle it, and I realized that there was like one or two verses that were fine, but then a couple of other verses that weren't. So I started to just completely dismantle the verse, and I thought, how do I start again? Because one, I feel less connected to it now because I wrote it a while ago. And so there was all of those fears about, can I make this better? Can I change it? And again, those judgments coming up when you're writing, you know, another couple of lines down, and so your mind says, oh, you know, maybe I'm just going to rewrite it and it's not going to be any better, you know. But then if you're aware again of those thoughts that you're having, and you put them aside, and you just allow it to be like, maybe I'll totally dismantle this song and maybe it will be worse than when I did it. But let's see, you know, let's just see if it is. And when you go to things with that openness, really what you're doing is you're dismantling those fears, because if you're allowing all of that to happen, if you're allowing it to be rubbish, if you're allowing it to not be that great, or whatever those things are, then your fear stands absolutely no chance in overtaking your creative power. And I think if you do that, then whatever happens, if you end up with a good song or a not so good song, and maybe what you think is a bad song, somebody else will just love anyway. So yeah, that is one way to conquer your fears and to keep that flame burning.